Hi, hello, welcome to my YouTube lectures. As usual, today I am going to explain the continuity equation and relaxation time. This is also belongs to the subject electromagnetic field theory. This is suitable for the second year ECE and EEE students. By the by, myself, Professor Raju Rolkanti, Department of ECE, St. Peter's Engineering College, and UGC Autonomous Institution, Hyderabad. Today I am going to explain the continuity equation and relaxation time. The other name for relaxation time is rearrangement time. Continuity equation. This depends on the law of conservation of energy. We studied in intermediate level that energy neither created nor destroyed. Therefore, the principle of charge conservation. So it depends, continuity equation depends on the principle of charge conservation. What the principle of charge conservation says is the time rate of decrease of charge within a given volume must be equal to the net outward current flow through the surface of the volume. What is decrease of charge in a given volume? Suppose you let there is a volume, inside the volume there is a charge. The decrease of charge within the given volume means that is something that is going out as a current. Therefore, the net outward current flow through the surface of the volume should be equal to the decrease of the charge within a given volume. Therefore, continuity equation is the principle of charge conservation. It is due to that the time rate of decrease of charge within a given volume must be equal to the net outward current flow through the surface of the volume. This is the continuity equation. You see, I out. What is I out? Current coming out of a closed surface. I out, the current coming out of a closed surface is equal to minus dq in by dt. dq in by dt. What is dq in? The total charge enclosed by the closed surface. Therefore, dq in by dt is the time rate of decrease of charge. Here the minus sign shows that decreasing of the charge. Therefore, I out is equal to minus dq in by dt. But previously we know that I out is equal to closed integral j dot ds. In this continuity equation, from the continuity equation, I out is equal to minus dq in by dt. Okay. I out is equal to closed integral j dot ds. We know this. Therefore, I out is equal to closed integral j dot ds is equal to minus dq in by dt. What is j here? J is the conduction current density. Sir, we know convection current density and conduction current density. How can you say J is a conduction current? It is a conduction current because the current that is flowing in the medium. Therefore, this is the ds is the surface under consideration. By the divergence theorem, closed integral j dot ds can be converted into this one, integral j dot dv. What is divergence theorem? Divergence theorem converts surface integral to volume integral. Divergence theorem is a tool for converting surface integral to volume integral. You see here, closed integral j dot ds means it is a surface integral. Here is this side, I want to convert the surface integral to the volume integral. How we have to convert is simply j dot ds becomes integral volume integral j dot del dot j dv. But we know q is equal to rho v dv. We know that Q is equal to rho v dv. Therefore, minus dq in by dt is equal to minus d by dt integral of rho v dv. Rho v dv integral is q in. Q in is equal to integral of rho v dv. By substituting that value, we are getting this one. You see here, outside the integral d by dt is there. Please remember, whenever you want to take differentiation d by dt into the integration, that becomes partial differentiation. Minus integral dou rho v by dou t dv, that becomes. Therefore, you see here, closed integral j dot ds is equal to volume integral del dot j dv. Here, minus dq in by dt is equal to minus integral dou rho v by dou t into dv. These are equal to, therefore, substituting equations 2 and 3 in equation 1, we are having this one, integral del dot j dv is equal to minus integral dou rho v by dou t dv. You see here, dv get cancels, integral get cancels, therefore del dot j is equal to minus dou rho v by dou t. The above equation is termed as continuity equation or continuity of current equation. You see here, what is the continuity equation now? Del dot j is equal to minus dou rho v by dou t. That is all about continuity equation. Now let us come relaxation time. What is relaxation time? Before understanding the relaxation time, we start with Maxwell's first equation. What is the Maxwell's first equation? Del dot d bar is equal to rho v. That is the Maxwell's first equation. Del dot d bar is equal to rho v. You see here, rho v is equal to del dot d bar. We also know that J is equal to sigma E. J is equal to sigma E bar. J bar is equal to sigma E bar. This is known as point form of the Ohm's law. Please, students, my dear friends, remember J is equal to sigma E bar. This is the Ohm's law for fields. So, substituting all those things here, rho v is equal to del dot d. We know that d is equal to epsilon E bar. Therefore, rho v is equal to del dot epsilon E bar. You take this epsilon this side, rho v by epsilon is equal to del dot E from the Gauss law. This is from the Gauss law. You see here, I want to substitute this value sigma rho v by epsilon is equal to, I am taking sigma on both sides. If I am taking multiplying with sigma on both sides, I am getting sigma rho v by epsilon is equal to del dot sigma epsilon. What we know? Sigma E bar is equal to J. Therefore, sigma rho v by epsilon is equal to del dot J. We can write like this. From the continuity equation, what we know? Del dot J is equal to minus dou rho v by dou t. Here we are having del dot J is equal to sigma rho v by epsilon. Here from the continuity equation, this is minus dou rho v by dou t. Therefore, dou rho v by dou t, that becomes minus sigma rho v by epsilon. I am taking this minus sign to that side and rho v this side. You see this rho v this side and t that side. Dou rho v by rho v is equal to minus sigma by epsilon dou t. This is a differential equation. From this differential equation, homogeneous. This is a homogeneous linear ordinary differential equation. This is homogeneous linear ordinary differential equation. By separating variables in the equation, we are getting this one. In integrating both the sides, we are going to have this one. After integration, rho v is equal to rho v naught e to the power of minus t by capital TR. What is T capital TR? Epsilon by sigma. Epsilon by sigma, TR is equal to epsilon by sigma, is known as the relaxation time or rearrangement time. Relaxation time is short for good conductors and long for good dielectrics. I want to prove this. I want to show this relaxation time is short for good conductors, long for good dielectrics by using one example. Let us take this example. It is short for good conductors and long for good dielectrics. I want to explain that by using some example. For example, copper, you take copper. What is the conductivity of the copper? Sigma, that is equal to 5.8 into 10 to the power of 7 moles per meter, that is given. Epsilon r is equal to 1. Therefore, TR is equal to epsilon by sigma. Epsilon means epsilon naught or epsilon r. Epsilon naught, epsilon r by sigma. That is equal to 1 into, what is the value of the epsilon naught? We know 10 to the power of minus 9 by 36.5 into 1 by 5.8 into 10 to the power of 7. By doing this, we are going to get the value 1.53 into 10 to the power of minus 19 seconds. You see, it is very small software. This shows a rapid decay of charge that is placed inside the copper. This implies that for good conductors, the relaxation time is so short that most of the charge will vanish from any interior point and appear at the surface. Therefore, the charge that is at the surface is known as surface charge. On the other hand, I want to explain what is the relaxation time for dielectrics. You take a fused quartz. It is a dielectrics. Fused quartz is a dielectric. For instance, sigma is equal to 10 to the power of minus 17 ohms per meter. And epsilon value, relative permittivity, is equal to 5.0. We know the formula for relaxation time is equal to epsilon by sigma. Epsilon means epsilon r, epsilon naught by sigma. Epsilon r value is given as 5. We know epsilon naught value is 10 to the power of minus 9 by 36.5. That is given sigma value is 1 by 10 to the power of minus 17. That is after getting this 51.2 days we are getting. You see in the above 1.53 into 10 to the power of minus 19 seconds, but here we are getting 51.2 days. What it is showing? This showing a very large relaxation time. Therefore, we can conclude and we can say that for good dielectrics, one may consider introduce the charge remains wherever placed. Therefore, we can say that relaxation time is short for good conductors and it is long for good dielectrics. To understand that, I want to tell you one more point. Before that, I want to tell you one key point here. Under static conditions, no pre-charge can remain within the conductor. Under static conditions, del dot J is equal to 0. That we know. Static conditions, for static currents, del dot J is equal to 0. From that we can say no pre-charge can remain within the conductor and it gets evenly distributed over the surface of the conductor. Some people may ask why the charge is not at the center, it is not residing. It is resides at the surface of the conductor. Therefore, the concept that comes into picture is surface charge. After that, we have to go and calculate surface charge density. All these are coming from this concept. Let us do one more problem to understand the relaxation time. Determine the relaxation time for silver having conduction 6.17 10 to the power of 7 moles per meter. If charge of the density rho naught is placed within a silver block, find the charge density after 1 time constant and 5 time constants. Assume epsilon naught. Epsilon is equal to epsilon naught. That means epsilon r is equal to 1. For silver, sigma is given, that is 6.17 in 10 to the power of 7 moles per meter. This is metal. Epsilon is equal to epsilon naught. Therefore, relaxation time is equal to relaxation time capital TR R tau is equal to epsilon by sigma. Therefore, epsilon naught by sigma. Epsilon naught value, there are two types of values are there. I want to introduce one type of value there, and here I want to introduce this value 8.854 into 10 to the power of minus 12 by 6.17 in 10 to the power. You have to understand when we have to use this value 8.854 in 10 to the power of minus 12 value. By doing this, we are going to get 1.435 into 10 to the power of minus 19 seconds. The charge density rho naught decays exponentially. Therefore, rho is equal to rho naught into e to the power of t by tau. At 1 t is equal to 1 tau, this is becomes 0.37 e to the power of 0.3768 rho naught. Please remember here e to the power of minus 1 value is 0.3768. This is the value you have to remember. Whenever while doing the problems, what is the value of the e to the power of minus 1? That is 0.3768. You see here this is 0.3768 times rho naught. Where at t is equal to 5 taus, this value becomes 6.73 into 10 to the power of minus 3. It is decreasing. So, as relaxation time is increasing, charge density is decreasing. Thank you very much. We can understand this one. Thank you. వీడియో